For the last 2 years, we have been watching a tennis match back and forth. OpenAI hits the ball. Google hits it back. We got comfortable thinking this was a two-horse race. But over the last weekend, the stadium just collapsed. The two-horse race is dead. It is now a global free-for-all that has shattered the leaderboards and left the giants scrambling. Frontier models are now shipping in months, not years. Benchmarks that used to stand for a whole research cycle are crumbling in 48 hours. And the biggest shock did not come from Silicon Valley. It came from a Chinese lab called DeepSeek. They just staged a comeback that has rattled Western complacency to its core. DeepSeek is not just another copycat. Their latest model is posting scores that rival GPT-4 on coding and reasoning. But here is the part that should make investors sweat. They are doing it at a fraction of the cost. We are talking about training costs in the low tens of millions, an order of magnitude cheaper than what US giants are spending. This destroys the primary defense of the big American labs. Their argument was always, only we can afford this scale. DeepSeek just proved that wrong. If a Chinese model can match performance while being 3 times cheaper per token, the economic moat around Silicon Valley starts to evaporate. Cloud providers in Southeast Asia and the Middle East suddenly have a credible option that does not carry American export politics. But while the world watches China, Amazon has been quietly building a different kind of weapon. They call it Nova. And unlike the others, Amazon does not care if you are impressed by its personality. They are not chasing viral chatbots. They are wiring these models directly into the plumbing of the global economy. Nova targets the enterprise. It targets the companies that care about uptime, compliance, and total cost of ownership. Amazon is betting that the real money is not in writing poems, but in boring problems. Compliance reports. Logistics. Call center scripts. They want Nova to be the default utility, just like electricity or running water. Here is the strategic twist. Amazon is using a vertical stack that few can match. They have their own chips, Trainium and Inferentia. They have the data centers. They have the clients. Once a company builds their internal tools on Amazon Q and Nova, ripping it out becomes impossible. They are not trying to win a popularity contest. They are trying to become impossible to fire. Now, you might think Google is out of the fight. Do not make that mistake. Rumors are flying about a Generation 4.5 stack running in the shadows. We are hearing about context windows that can handle millions of tokens without hallucinating. Imagine a model that reads a 300-page legal brief, cross-references every email you have ever sent, and drafts a strategy doc in seconds. Google's hidden advantage is real-world physics. Their GenCast project is already predicting weather better than supercomputers. It ingests petabytes of satellite data to generate forecasts that are faster and more accurate than traditional physics models. Why does this matter? Because the same AI that predicts a storm can predict traffic, logistics, and robot movement. But while Google builds in the shadows, they just took a public beating in video. Their model, VO3, was supposed to be the king. It lasted barely a season. A Chinese challenger called Kling just dethroned it. And it is not about resolution. It is about physics. Side-by-side tests show the difference. In Google's video, faces morph and backgrounds warp when the camera moves. In Kling's video, a girl in a red jacket stays the same girl, whether she is walking, biking, or sitting. The liquid splashes obey gravity. The cloth folds correctly. It looks less like a dream and more like a camera recording reality. This changes the stakes for every creator watching this. We are collapsing the gap between script and screen. Solo YouTubers will soon synthesize shots that used to require a 5-figure budget and a VFX team. But it also means the era of trusting your eyes is officially over. If a model understands physics this well, deepfakes are about to become undetectable. Finally, we have the silent assault from Europe, Mistral. While the Americans and Chinese fight over closed gardens, Mistral is handing out the keys. They are releasing open weight models that you can download and run on your own servers. For banks and governments who cannot send their data to a US cloud, this is the only option. So here's the reality. The race is no longer just about who has the smartest chatbot. It is a series of overlapping wars. A war for cheap reasoning led by DeepSeek. A war for enterprise plumbing led by Amazon. A war for reality led by video AI. And a war for data sovereignty led by Mistral. Whoever wins will not just sell you a model. They will integrate into how you work, how you create, and how you live. The question isn't which model is best today. It is which infrastructure will you be locked into tomorrow. If you want to stay ahead of this war, make sure you are subscribed. I'll see you in the next one.